Okay, so I'm gonna start my 5 minutes now for the actual debate portion. It's going. Okay. So the side that I have is that I'm supposed to be against tattoos and facial piercings in the workplace. I think to start this argument or debate is you have to realize that dress code and appearances and those kind of policies are very important and highly regarded in all workplaces. So I think that's where we're going to start this little debate. Even though tattoos have gotten more common, a lot of people still regard them as like a subculture because they used to be only in gangs and bikers and people who were considered to like not be in society. And that's who kind of makes the rules is just like corporate offices and people who are still with those terms. I think even though like I think times are changing and people are getting more acceptable of tattoos, the reason why people are still against them is for the reasons I just said. I don't know where I'm going with that. But anyways, for example, I was always told in school that if we were going to get tattoos, we shouldn't get them in visible places because a lot of the people that were going to hire us weren't going to like it. So I don't have any tattoos on my hands or my face or my legs. And I think it's the same goes for like piercings, anything besides like earrings we were always told was like weird and like taboo. I don't know. But some medical jobs say you can't have any ink at all. So that's interesting concept if you think about it. I don't really know. But for the most part, most employers just apply minor restrictions. As long as they hide, then you're going to be okay. And of course, you can't have anything like excessive or like offensive tattoos because that's just like, no, that's not going to work. Because I think if you wouldn't put it on a shirt, then like you shouldn't wear it because you have to think about the customers. Even though your corporate offices and stuff and like the HR might be fine with tattoos, if you're dealing with customers a lot, then you have to like think about things and like if they're intimidated by it, that's really what's going to matter. I thought it was interesting because 76% of people say that tattoos hurt their job interviews, and 6% of tattooed people said that they wouldn't hire a person with tattoos. So I think that just like goes along with my point that people are hyper aware that society thinks that tattoos are still kind of scary in a sense. But it's okay because non-visible tattoos are almost always allowed. Even if like your corporate office knows that you have your tattoos, they're usually going to be fine with it. So I think the main thing here with the tattoos and piercings is that just don't let them show or have something removable or something. I know like with jobs that I've had in the past, they've always wanted me to take like a facial piercing out or like wear something clear, like put a band-aid on it, which was stupid, but no one's gonna put a fucking band-aid on their face. Oh no. No one heard that. Yeah, but even if there isn't a tattoo policy, I think you just need to realize that there's gonna be some sort of like restriction against offensive tattoos. Because you just can't do that. Like, you're not going to get hired if you have that. And if you have that beforehand, then they're probably going to fire you. And, because at the end of the day, it's not really regarding your skills or anything like that. It's more protecting the professional image of the company. Because the company is going to come first along with the clients. But at the end of the day, like, it still depends on the job. It still is going to like depend on your customer interaction and like your corporate level, your skill level, because I think each thing changes. I still have a minute left. But what can I say for a minute? I think like if you don't interact with customers, then it's going to be okay. But if you do interact with customers, then don't get like salty because you can't have tattoos because it's kind of world we live in where somebody has to tell you what to do. So just have to be accepting of that. So I have like 30 seconds left. So I'm just going to use this time to do my transition into like my rebuttal. So I'm going to like reset my clock or whatever so you can like pause it, and then I'm starting my rebuttal now. So I guess I don't really know what the other person says, but I looked up some like little like statistics and stuff like that and like played devil's advocate against the other side saying that tattoos you should have them. And for myself personally, I have tattoos and I don't think that they should impact my job, so this is kind of an easier part to play. But I was kind of interested in how an article was saying that now if jobs don't allow you to have certain tattoos, and that can be discrimination because of your appearance. But to rebuttal that, you have to realize that when we get jobs and stuff like that, we automatically sign a policy and stuff. Like sometimes it says like what like you're allowed to wear, what you're allowed to say, your piercings, your tattoos. Like for the most part, you know what you're getting into, and if it's not for you, then you don't have to go to that job. But if like you sign that and then afterwards you decide to get like tattoos and they're not allowed, and you decide to get like something on your face and it's not allowed, then it's not really discrimination because you were aware of it beforehand, I guess. And yeah, I get times are changing, but like I was saying, it's only been the past 2 decades that I've actually had like the cultural shift and like tattoos have become more acceptable. So that means like the person who was raised to say that tattoos weren't okay is probably in the corporate level now. So I'd say another 2 decades when like ourselves are in a corporate level, that's when I think tattoos will be completely okay. But just for right now, they're just not okay. I feel like I just said okay like 20 times. But yeah, and I think, what other rebuttals can there be? I have 3 minutes left. Well, 73% of people get their first tattoo between the ages of 18 and 22. So I think when people have their tattoos and are protective over it, you get them when you're younger, you're not necessarily thinking about the job that you're going to get, so there's always that. And I think if you do have tattoos and you want to go somewhere where it's okay and like piercings and stuff like that, you could go to like a more organic company. I know like it's been a big thing lately where companies actually care more about diversity and like what's the word, like pertaining to like all the people that are gonna like apply and stuff like that, because it's important to like focus on interactions and like customer service and like how you actually act instead of appearances. And there are jobs that like cater to that now, so you can get a job like that. It's only like, I think throughout my research I learned that it's really only like corporate jobs that say that you can't have this and that, but for the most part other jobs are okay with it. And I think that's where I'm going to end my rebuttal because I don't really know what else to say, and that's kind of my closing statement too. So I guess I'm going to be done.